Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Coming up, a rematch of Super Bowl 50 between the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. Fight 60. Ready.
Young wasting no time, right to the air. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The Panthers had 3 and 8 on the year. If they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W, they have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
On the ball. Green jack. Real green. You yellow.
First carry for the Oklahoma State man, Chuba Hubbard. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now Young. He'll find his man, Laviska Shenault. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the counter, this is Hubbard. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive going right here.
Young on first down. This one into the hands of Thielen. Touchdown, Carolina! Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Pinheiro's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 21. Here's Wilson to throw. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Wilson. And going right back to Hamler. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. From 21 yards away. And the Broncos are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to... Oh, Young loses it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 14-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Young to throw it. He'll fire this complete to Hurst down the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Flag blue. Red, yellow. Red, cycle. Red.
From the 44, Young. This ball complete. It's an out route to Thielen. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
On the set. Trouble, 38.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
But he's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
22 middle. Shot, 17. Ready.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It was D.J. Jones who was there for the tackle.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 2nd and 9, Young, pass complete, finds Thomas going across the middle. Through one quarter, 14-7, our score. Sanders trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1.
97.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
Third down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. With his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Panthers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Heroes extra point up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays. that also found the end zone. Now, they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brian Burns able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Taken right around the 44. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Terrace Marshall, 29 yards, as they have taken the lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Open man left side, it's a tight end man Hurts. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On the counter, here's Williams. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. And see, when you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He's got a man. That's Marshall. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Sanders up the middle. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
52 blasters.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long.
Right. Blue striking. Ready.
Looking to throw, Young. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a fourth down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To throw is Wilson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down. Now Young. Looking underneath and finding Hubbard. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
1st and 10, Young. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He's got his 6'5" receiver, that's Tim Patrick. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
Now this throw caught left side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Now Wilson. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy, and it's 3rd and 4.
That was a nice job defensively disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Again, Wilson. Got his man, it's Dulcich. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 26. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. On 1st down, Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Second down and 3. Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Wilson now to throw on third down. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up first and goal.
Here's Pirine. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Second down and goal. Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Tim Patrick from 3 yards out. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied at 21. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Take it in at the 3. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective, because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Yellow. 6. Mega. Blue.
A second down throw for Young. That is caught by Thielen. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. Young now. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
It'll be Young again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Red, cycle. Cluster, 6. Snap, red.
Throwing, Young. And
that's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at about the 14. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. That is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Brian Burns picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go. Ready?
Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now Pirine. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now it's Wilson.
This is Hamler on the receiving end. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Wilson will throw again. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Panthers have recovered.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ready.
They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Wait.
Young on 3rd down. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Wilson. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Brings up 2nd down at the 34-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
He finds his man complete. That's Patrick. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. They find some open field here. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Former first-rounder Derek Brown living up to the billing on that stop.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. It's Williams on the catch. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. That last pass might be one he remembers, Charles. He's now over 40,000 career passing yards.
And just think of the evolution of the passing game in the NFL. 40,000 at one time was unthinkable. No one thought anyone would ever get there. Now, how many guys have done it in the NFL?
Yeah, right around 20.
So we're talking a good number that have gotten that done, throwing the ball downfield. He's got a lot to be proud of and a lot more left to accomplish.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by McManus is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Young. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there for Carolina. 62 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Young to throw. That swung out wide to Sanders. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Wilson to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Now Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. Now the Panthers are going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This from 55 yards out. And that is no good. And a
costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
But obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Patrick. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
And some space here. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
So it's a win here for the Broncos, and it was thanks largely due to the play of the quarterback, CD, a guy who's been doing it for a while, and that's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I thought this defense just didn't have an answer for him all game long. They tried to change things up, but he was always one step ahead. And he finished with over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdown passes as well.
So for Denver, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.